take my timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I still have to watch. Dear Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm very grateful for the opportunity to finally make my first project, my icebreaker. You know, basically to me this is not exactly an icebreaker, it's more like an ice melter. Why is that? Because the more we talk to each other, the more we share and communicate, the ice of unknown turns into the liquid of known, and we become stronger, more fulfilled, and more passionate. And my mind was basically blowing the last few days because I was swaying left and right about what to talk about. Initially, I wanted to talk about the personal power, about the fears. Because the fears, that's something which we can convert to our power, internal power. But then I was reading over and over the Toastmasters manual and finally decided not to deviate from the rule and to talk something about my own self. Though when I entered this room on the 4th of August, I already gave you some facts and figures about me. Basically I put it here, Andrey Kosilov, so I should not repeat it. And I will be very happy if you just have a look at it during the time break. So today I decided to tell you the story from my life, which I call the, and it will be just a preface to the story because I hope that later I will deliver more and more speeches on that. So it's called the To the Ends of the Earth. And now we take the time machine and we go back to 1991. It's all for those who were already on this planet Earth in 1991. So at that time I was a student of the 3rd year at the Moscow People's Friendship University. And I was a sort of an adrenaline-driven guy. I worked part-time, of course I needed pocket money, and I worked for the Sputnik Travel Agency. That's the agency which works with the foreigners who come to Russia. And I worked with all sorts of freaks and weird people from all over the world. Nobody took them, this mostly were the students. So I was an easygoing guide. Once upon a time, in the month of April, my boss from the Sputnik agency called me and in a very intriguing voice he asked me, Andrey, would you like to take some fresh air? I said, well, why not? I will pay you triple the price, what I usually pay. You know, I was even more puzzled, 3 times more pay, what to do. He did not give me any comments, just one thing. He said, do not forget to take all your warm clothes with you. And it was the month of April. Well, I was kind of puzzled even more. So the next morning at 8 o'clock, I was at the assembly point. And there were so many different people there. The CNN reporters, the ITN News, the France Press, the man in a wheelchair. And these people were looking at me. I didn't know what to say. Then a big tall guy, like 2 meters tall, came up to me and he snarled in a very low voice, are you our Tolmach? Tolmach in Russian is a translator. Well, I guessed, yes, probably that's me. Fine. But the purpose of my trip I found later, when I was already on the board of a military polar aviation plane. So what it was the trip to the North Pole, which I of course could not have expected. And the purpose of the trip was the fundraising campaign for the Multiple Sclerosis Society of UK. And a man in a wheelchair whom I saw before I landed the plane was a guy who should have traveled all the way from UK to the North Pole. And he was supposed to meet the polar explorer, and the CNN News were supposed to make a documentary about it. Today I just put their names here because these guys are really outstanding people and I want to pay the homage to them. They are alive, thanks God. So the second one, this is the guy confined to a wheelchair, Mr. Henry Straker, and his wife Elspeth Straker. And the guy from the polar expedition, Sir Reynold Fiennes, he was supposed to reach the North Pole by the end of April. And the heroic meeting would have happened basically on the North Pole, the geographical North Pole. There was much more that I wanted to share with you about. Of course, the time limits do not allow me to do this. There were so many funny things during our being at the North Pole. There was a huge collision of mentalities because 1991 was the year when the first flow of the people was coming to Russia, especially the North Pole. They are so different from anybody else. But this is for the next meetings. So today, the only thing what I want to tell you, if somebody offers you to do crazy things at times, you just do it without any regret or hesitation. And I want to wish you all, live strong, live with passion, and have fun. This is the book which was presented to me by this Sir Reynold Fiennes. That's all about the North Pole expedition. Just in case if you want to look, I will gladly show you. Thank you.